The very first page of this book says so much about the writer's understanding of the character of Batman. Now, I am a bit biased because I really like James as a person, but his writing here is superb. As Batman climbs through Gotham in the rain, patrolling the streets of the city that's become his mission, he says, "It happened in the little moments. I'd sketch on the edge of a napkin or at the corner of a page in an old casebook. A familiar building, but with an unfamiliar number of floors. The city skyline with a few added skyscrapers. There was always some minor detail altered. Alfred called them my little Gothams. He said that they were designs for the city that lived in my head. A better city, without all the pain and horror. A city that didn't need Batman. He would say, 'What if you didn't put the suit on tonight? What if you gathered all those sketches and started building something that could last?'" That was very powerful for me. It conveys so much with so very few words. It shows, for one, how important Alfred was to Bruce's sanity, to his stability. Alfred was one of Bruce's last ties to the normal world, so to speak. With Alfred gone, there's no one to help him keep that balance between night and day that Bruce and Batman have. There's a tension living inside between a more normal life and the fact that as long as Batman exists, there never can be a fully normal life for Bruce. And even if it's a subconscious understanding, it still resonates inside. But even in that one line, a city that didn't need Batman, that can be a reminder that even though Bruce's desire is to completely rid Gotham of crime, his subconscious desire is to never stop fighting crime. After all, who would Batman be if he couldn't fight crime? Well, he'd just be Bruce Wayne then, and he wouldn't be able to escape into the night, to escape from his past, to escape from the pain of his parents' death, to escape into the mask of Batman. Alfred's voice echoes through Bruce's head there in the rain. "You have a design for Gotham City, Master Bruce. Isn't it time the world saw it?" I'm telling you, this intro is exactly what I've been looking for in the main Batman title. I'm intrigued. I'll be picking this book up moving forward. Like I mentioned, one of my favorite writers took this series, starting with this issue, number 86, and it's James Tynion IV. Tony Daniel is on pencils, Daniel Mickey is on inks, and Tomu Moreau is on colors, and I'm probably butchering someone's name. We continue, and it shows Cheshire quickly killing a guy with what she calls sea wasp poison on the way to meet Malcolm Merlyn and a group of creepy villains, Gunsmith and Mr. Teeth. We find out that they're all on the payroll of some higher-ranking crime boss that we don't get a glimpse of immediately. Shoot forward, and we see Selina talking it up with the mayor, socialites. She's working for Bruce. She says, "If you leave me alone in a room like this again, I swear I'm going to rob everyone blind." Batman asks, "You know what you're looking for?" She says, "In a room like this, I always know what I'm looking for." And Selina goes directly toward the sapphires, of course. Bats and Fox are talking over comms, and Batman asks Lucius if it's ready. He says, "When I proposed building an autonomous factory floor capable of printing and assembling machine parts on short notice, I really thought you'd start with a car." Lucius is very reluctant to allow Batman to start using whatever this machine is that they're hinting at. Again, a great tool when writers do a small, short build over the course of 2 pages, and then the reveal. Batman asks, "Will it do what I need it to?" And this machine Bruce is calling the Night Climber, and it can track enemies, climb up walls, and faith-willing, and maybe a hope and a prayer later, even fly. 5 days ago, the Batcomputer flagged an alert on the dark web hubs used by assassins guilds in the US. The warning described a hurricane in Gotham City in a few days' time, that a group would be wearing expensive raincoats. That message, of course, was a code for something going down in Gotham, and we find that Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, is the big boss, and the biggest worry of Bruce is what is bringing him back to Gotham City. It has to be more than just money, and it looks like Bruce knows the way that Deathstroke thinks pretty well. So the way this fight scene unfolds with Batman, Deathstroke, it gives a solid start to this new beginning for Batman. Deathstroke says, "It took you long enough. You won't catch them all," talking about his hired minions. But Bruce has his tech on it, sending out what he called Shadowcasters to make it look to all four of the others that they're being followed by Batman. Essentially, he's corralling them into traps. Deathstroke says he's been hearing things about Batman. Since he let Bane make a fool of him, they say that the Batman's gone mad, that he's unhinged. They say he has a death wish. Deathstroke says he wanted to see that with his own eye. And I'll tell you, this next part is my absolute favorite line from any comic this whole month. You know this is just a distraction, right? Keeping your eyes off the real score. Batman says, "I know. Now shut the beep up and fight me." Back to Selina Kyle, and we find out that someone has different plans for Gotham than Batman and recently deceased Alfred did. Apparently those different plans for Gotham is what all of this has been about. Someone flips a remote trigger and kills the guy that Selina is questioning, and they appear to be speaking through his body. Bruce Wayne has a design for Gotham City, and so did we. Forgetting for a moment, Batman asks Alfred to send a priority signal to Gotham City Police Department, and Lucius responds back, I'm sorry, Bruce. Alfred isn't here." And these next two panels, they really show the feeling in Bruce's face. Forgetting that Alfred had died, being caught off guard, he takes a moment in silence. And this art really captures that mood. This is exactly what you'd want to feel from this. This is a serious and a somber start to this chapter in Gotham, and it fits the tone of Batman's story so well. In this moment, we see Bruce's humanity. We see his heart stop in the still frame. This is an important moment. It's very likely that Bruce hasn't taken time to process the loss of Alfred, and in this moment, it's captured perfectly by this creative team. Massive props to everyone involved here. I absolutely caught the feels on this for sure. As Batman pilots the Night Climber up a building, we're given a deeper look into the conscious mind of Batman, and again, what is captured here, it's important for the character. We're shown the same tension between the conscious and the unconscious desires of Batman. He says, "The suggestion always unsettled me. The idea of taking the whole city in hand and reshaping it into something that might not need a Batman. I had always known in my heart the work could never be finished. I fought the symptoms, but the war could never be won. My designs for Gotham were a fiction, a fantasy, not worth kindling into something more. They were impossible. I would tell him that over and over, late at night in the cave. He would always just grin at me and smile. He'd tell me, 'Master Bruce, for God's sake, you're Batman. I think what's possible is only limited by what you believe is possible.'" I'm telling you, this is a fantastic start to this new chapter for Gotham City, for Batman, this whole creative team. I'm absolutely thrilled about the direction of this book, and I feel like this is my favorite comic I've read so far this month. Everyone, the whole team, they seem to be on the same page and moving together. Again, it's important to have not just your writer, but the whole creative team on the same page together. And this is what I feel instinctively. Another book made it to my pull list here, but I would love to hear what you think about this issue. Did you like the way everything is unfolding? The art style, the writing direction? Do you feel like this will go a long way to bring Bruce Wayne back into his characterization, to really show who Batman is? Let me know. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think of this book. I'd love to hear your perspective. You are the gateway into comics.